My mum, your dad is at its midway point, and, while some couples seem to be... Although ITV viewers certainly have their opinions about who should end up with who. So who do my mum, your dad fans want to get together at the end of the series, on Friday, September 22, 2023? And do you agree? My mum, your dad couples, Paul and Natalie. Paul, the owner of a decorating company from London, and self-esteem and relationship recovery coach Natalie are the most solid couple right now. The chemistry was there right from the start, and their first date cemented it. The pair shared a snog at the school disco, and the viewers seemed to like the coupling. In fact, it seems to be pretty unanimous, they are a good match. Dozens of ITV fans have labeled the couple cute, and one viewer gushed, "Paul and Natalie look so good together. Hashtag my mum your dad." Another agreed, typing, "Oh fantastic. Lovely, real couple, Natalie Paul." A third wrote, "Kudos to the Natalie and Paul matchup. So chilled and looked ace together. I have everything crossed. Hashtag my mum your dad." Some even think their kids Mazey and Kaliel would make a good match too, with one viewer tweeting, "Natalie and Paul's kids make a cute couple. Hashtag my mum your dad." In truth, Paul and former drug addict Natalie seem to be pretty secure in themselves, and haven't been afraid to show their feelings. Something that Sharon and Elliot could learn from. Elliot and Sharon P. Teacher Elliot is clearly a one-woman man, and we like him for that. From the minute he entered the beautiful house in West Sussex, he's only had eyes for welfare officer Sharon. He's laid his cards on the table, but she seems to be less sure of showing her feelings. They both have baggage, and have been hurt in the past. They just need to jump in with both feet, otherwise they might lose each other. Fans want them to get together. One viewer wrote, "Arf, I'm really rooting for Elliot and Sharon. Hashtag my mum your dad." Another said, "Oh, I am just so invested in all of them. I am totally team Elliot and Sharon." A third added, "Back off Clayton, it's Sharon and Elliot all the way. I can really see Elliot and Sharon working after this," said one more, while another chipped in, "Elliot and Sharon seem perfect." Others said they were rooting for them, and some even declared them the winners. Not everyone agrees though. Elliot seems to have a lot of fans, some of whom fear for his heart. One such warrior typed, "What do we think about Elliot and Sharon? I feel he deserves someone who gives back. Hashtag my mum your dad." My mum, your dad couples, Monique and Martin H., not Martin M. At the start, Monique was struggling to find a spark with anyone, until former basketball player Martin H. arrived. And fans were totally behind their cuteness. The pair seemed so well suited. But, then property developer Martin M. turned up and seemed to have turned her head. And fans are not on board. In fact, viewers are so heavily invested in Monique and Martin H., that they've actually started hating on Monique for her potential U-turn and have begged her to stick not twist. And, let's face it, like most TV bombshells, Martin M. seems to be all swagger and no substance. Expressing their frustration, one viewer wrote, "Monique, what are you doing? We have to go with our hearts, I know, but Martin H. is adorable." Another tweeted in desperation, "Monique, don't do it. Martin H. is a lovely man." They went on to claim that Martin M. is a player. A third exasperated viewer protested, "So frustrating to watch. Monique had a lovely thing going with a lovely guy and then Martin M. swaggers in, literally, with his air of arrogance and she completely got her head turned." Rooting for Martin H. "I think Martin M. is overconfident, much prefer Martin H., said another. "He's far more genuine and Monique is making a mistake." Viewers branded Martin M. cocky, creepy, and a game player, with huge red flags. One even described him as a douchebag. Roger and Caroline, oh man, this is a tough one. Everybody loves Roger, the Paul Hollywood of my mum, my dad. The postman from Derbyshire is clearly still grieving after the death of his wife, and some fans have even questioned whether it's too soon for him to be on the show. At first he seemed to be getting close to Caroline, and he opened up to her about the death of his wife in a heartbreaking conversation in week 1. And frankly, Caroline is bloody lovely. But, after a few days, ITV threw a blonde babe into the mix, and Roger's eyes lit up at the sight of her. Don't get us wrong, Janie is gorgeous and sweet-natured. But, like us here at Ed, fans were really rooting for Caroline. On the whole, fans of the show want to see Roger coupled up with Caroline. Although this is looking unlikely after he seemed to choose Janie last week. On Friday night's show, September 16, 2023, Roger eventually shared his feelings with Janie, admitting, "I like Caroline. I think I probably like you more. Not probably, I do." And, during a school disco party, Janie also spoke with Caroline, tactfully saying Roger had said he liked her. But it seems some viewers still reckon Caroline could be a better match for him. One fan wrote, "I hope Roger gives more time to Caroline, they seem good together. Janie is too much for him, I think." Another simply said, "I want Roger and Caroline together, not Roger and Janie. Hashtag my mum your dad." Someone else sympathized, "I feel for Caroline. I think she and Roger have a special bond which could still lead to more than friendship. I like them together. Janie seems nice and the attraction is there, but Caroline is better for him." Others also agreed Caroline is the woman for Roger, as she is the empath who will help him heal and move on. Some viewer threw shade at Roger for not telling Caroline himself about his feelings for Janie, while another slammed him for being a typical man and going on looks alone. Clayton fans seem to have given up on Clayton finding love in the My Mum, Your Dad house. Although they seem to like him on the whole, he seems to be a bit full-on for their tastes. While some called him so funny, brilliant, and a vibe, others have accused him of coming across as a bit of a player, desperate, and too full-on. Generally, viewers feel a bit sorry for him. One wrote, "Clayton, that is 3 brush-offs. His poor ego, hashtag my mum your dad." While another typed, "He's trying, bless him. I feel bad." At this point in the game, it's unlikely Clayton will find love. While Janie and Clayton did have a laugh during their first date, she didn't even remember his real name, calling him David instead of Clayton. It wasn't a great start. At the moment, it looks like viewers won't get their way. Instead, Roger will choose Janie, leaving Caroline out in the cold. We actually think Janie and Martin M might make a decent couple, given the chance. They seem to be outgoing, and look good together. My Mum, Your Dad couples, Tallulah and Martin M. Contestant Tallulah entered like a tornado of hair at the same time as Martin M. She's outgoing, but even she didn't really stand a chance against Motormouth Martin M. In our opinion, she hasn't had enough airtime. Fans think the pair would work as a couple, if Monique sticks to Martin H. One viewer wrote, "Tallulah and Martin M would be great together. They can just ask each other, 'Am I your type?' on repeat, hashtag my mum your dad." As is often the case with latecomers, viewers have been slow to accept them. Most are rooting for the OGs. Less than IMG class equals W full H full absolute INSET0 object cover SRC equals https://i.ytimg.com/vi/n96 llel38/HQ default. JPEG alt equals YouTube video player greater than My Mum, Your Dad continues on ITV every weekday until the final episode on Friday, September 22, 2023 at 9 p.m.